Hey, everybody, welcome to That's Good Stuff, the show where we review pop culture's newest releases. And the newest release this week was Star Wars The Acolyte. So it's from Star Wars, okay?
It's the Star Wars universe. Star Wars.
It's from Disney, is where it's from.
Plus, yeah, Disney Plus. So the first episode of this show was called Lost/Found. So our show starts with a Katina fight as an assassin walks into a bar to meet Carrie Ann Moss from The Matrix. So she
was from
in Mass Effect.
In Mass Effect. So she has the Force in the Matrix. Can't be stopped, right? Well, yes, she can.
Rather easily.
Because our assassin takes her out with a couple of little knives. Oh, man. I'm just going to go.
That knife was behind her back. No one would know.
I mean,
no one could guess.
It's like no one would know except for, maybe a monk that is trained to perceive things that can't be seen in a heightened situation.
No, not even that.
It's like not even the Force in the Matrix.
At least have to stop two blades. Like have two people down there in two blades, so she has to do this, not just.
Well, she did stop that one blade, but it's hitting that one guy.
But it's like at least have to use two hands or something to make it a little more believable.
She also had her lightsaber out and drawn.
And that's gotta be so if you were a guy that gets assassinated a lot or assassination attempt.
But Joseph. Jedi does not draw unless they're willing to kill.
That is stupid.
It is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
All the time.
A Jedi is a keeper of the peace. They take their sword out all the time.
The Jedi, the lightsaber is a tool, not a weapon in the hands of a Jedi.
Right,
and I was
it's an extension of them. All right, we're going to get to all the stupid stuff pretty soon. But
we're not even 5 minutes into this episode.
Let's try to get through this plot.
What are you mad about? A ninja beating a Jedi?
There's not even a ninja.
Dude, this is
he's a ninja.
If Inspector Clouseau was an assassin, she is this incapable. Okay, let's try to get through the plot. So after that, we get introduced to our main character, I guess. And her name is Occupation Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA.
It's like, what? Missed that part.
So OSHA is working. She's a mechanique. I think that's what she calls herself. She's a mechanic that works on a ship, and she breaks OSHA law right then, because they're not supposed to work on ships. Mm-mm. Only droids are supposed to work on ships. Mm-mm.
She also breaks the laws of physics, too.
Yes, we will get to that. There's a fire on the ship. A campfire.
In space.
So, yeah, usually you just see some, blaster scoring on the ships and stuff like that, but a full-blown fire has broken out on the ship. I guess their shields are up or something. I don't know. So, some Jedi come to question her, a Jedi Knight and his Padawan. This Jedi Knight he's a male bimbo. So, he is here to question the death of a Jedi Master. You would think they'd get some other Jedi Masters out there to help, but they somehow figured out that the assassin looks like this lady who's on the ship because they have a witness. And they pull the witness out with
he's all the way there.
Witness. They took the witness. I have never heard of this, but they took the witness with them to identify. And he's like, "Yeah, that was her. Yeah, it looks just like her."
In this massive amount of technology laden universe, they had to physically bring the guy. Her. Across the galaxy, by the way.
It was wild.
Not even close.
It was wild how he was like, all you humans look the same. I was like, that's a bit much, guy.
Oh, this show will get on the nose, but we'll get to it. Yeah, you think they'd have those hologram things where they just pop it open and he's like, oh, hey, that was her.
One would think.
So she is under arrest. And you think a Jedi's job is to take the person they got under arrest and to take them to the temple by themselves. But no, they put her on a Republic prison ship where the droids flying are also the chairs. Very convenient. So
Cool design,
therefore-
I will say. I did like that design.
You
Cool
like that one? I did like the old looking droid that was like the guard.
The sentry
There was a
droid?
cool alien in that first planet with the cantina. It's like a
Mhm.
Jawa with red eyes. I was like, that's cool. That's a cool alien.
So they take her on the ship. She meets a lot of prisoners in there. Very convenient prisoners, because one prisoner can hack the ship with his brain. The other one has this tongue thing that comes out of its head instead of its mouth or something.
That has like the tensile strength of steel, apparently.
So they're like, we're going to break out. You want to come? And she's like, no, I have faith in the Jedi. And then they break out and she's like, get me out. There's a guy being tortured by some kind of face hugger in a cell. So she got to rescue him. And then they all jump in the escape pods and they leave her behind. So the ship is about to crash. It's going down. And she buckles up and she lands on an icy planet. Meanwhile, the guy from Squid Games is the main Jedi Master here. He's teaching some Padawan, and the Padawan are learning about not to trust their eyes because it can deceive them. And then he gets the news that someone has killed a Jedi.
Oh, wait. There's that little Jedi or Padawan that's he's like,
I
what do you
see
see?
fire.
Fire.
Oh, yeah.
Brimstone and death. Oh, you'll
I
be a
did like
great
how
Jedi.
I did how like Squid Game Jedi just went like, okay,
Moving on.
moving on.
Think about speeders and
Creative
cups, 'cause
expression,
that's
buddy.
crazy.
It's like earmark that for possible expulsion.
Please go see Master Yoda right now.
Master, what happened to Sally? Oh, she went to a special school.
All right. So, yeah, he gets the news and they want him to go look for him. And he's like, okay, take a couple Jedi with you. For some reason, that's the bimbo Jedi who is back on Coruscant already. And he's like, oh, no, they escaped. He had a Padawan who just disappears. We never see his Padawan again. And then they take this other Padawan. I guess it's, what is the guy's name? Soul?
Soul?
Soul, I think is Master Soul. He's got a Padawan that they take. So it's the three, and they're going to go.
Oh,
They go-
hold up. What happened to overly aggressive dude's Padawan?
We just
Did she-
asked that, and we don't know.
You don't know? Or we don't know? Sorry.
So they're going to go to the ice planet to find the girl, and she's there in her wreck ship. She made it without a scratch, man. She was very protected in that safety belt, so that's good. She starts seeing visions, and then they go down there. I can't remember this.
I had to pause real fast because I
Okay.
remember something. Do you like how that Padawan went up to a master and it was like,
I did not like that.
aren't you a little
Basically chastised him?
attached to this Padawan or this old Padawan? And he's like, I guess.
Calm down, ballsy child.
Also, do you like how the other Jedi was steaming his clothes for some reason?
Oh yeah, because
And then the actor had a full-on interview on why that was important.
Such an old trope. Like, you remember in Marvel, like the first years of
Yeah.
Marvel, they always had the shirtless scene where they're like, "Oh, hot." They had that, and I was like, "What? Why? He's
What's
a Jedi."
happening?
I know they're
Should be a
Jedis.
sexy Jedi.
And by the way, when the three are down on the planet, guess what Hot Jedi does? He pulls out his lightsaber because I
And
think he's-
uses
he's,
it.
He's,
Not
he's
ready to kill.
someone.
gonna kill.
Uses it for a flashlight. Okay, so they're down there. They're looking for her. They find her. They play the fugitive because she's like about to. I didn't kill my wife or something like that. And he's like, I believe you. And then
Yeah.
so they take her. What else happens in this?
What was
episode?
crazy is that they already had like a search team that investigated that ship, but they didn't like go down on the planet to search for her. Like they didn't make sure or anything. They're like, oh yeah, no one was there.
Yeah,
Above
they took
above
all
their
the
pay grade.
criminals back.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the rest of the ship? Nah, no reason to look for it. Honestly,
Well,
No one could have made that.
this is where my issue starts coming in with
This right here?
Well, with Bimbo Boy, with Bimbo Jedi.
Bimbo boy.
Because like the first time he sees her,
Jedi.
he like knows her and he's like, I don't want this to be true, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then the rest of it, he's totally like, you're the devil. I know you're trying to sneak around and murder every single one of us, you snake. I'm like, where was this flip that happened where he was like, he's her friend in the first scene, and the rest he's just like totally against her.
I thought they
follows her.
might have had like a romantic interest in each other on that first scene.
They can't make up their mind.
Yeah.
So when Squid Game Jedi and his Padawan and Bimbo Jedi are in the ship going toward Asha, Squid Game Jedi has that whole thing about she had a twin once. Yes, I saw her die. I saw her die. That's impossible. It can't be her. I saw her die.
They changed their mind.
And then when they meet Asha, she's like, what's her? I don't even know the other twin's name.
May.
Yeah. May's alive. I believe you. It's like, that was 5 minutes ago, man. Like,
but I thought you saw it with your own eyes. I guess it ends. We meet May's master, I guess, and he says some incredibly stupid stuff like twirling a lightsaber.
It was really bad.
It was
lightsaber.
That was really bad. I was kind of surprised how bad that was.
Can break their dreams.
That was the cringiest like edgelord thing I've ever seen a Sith do. He's just on a by the ocean on like a cliff. Waves are crashing against it. And then he monologues and then for no reason draws his lightsaber. Like,
but he's like, and you gotta,
what are you doing?
You gotta not kill the Jedi with weapon or something.
Yeah.
No. He makes the whole statement of he was like Jedi.
The Acolyte will not kill with a weapon.
Well, before that, he was like Jedi is blades and something else or no
steel
threat.
Or lightsaber will not kill him.
Are not a threat to Jedi. And I'm like,
really? Because a steel blade just killed the Jedi.
Have you seen the 9 movies and however many?
A tiny knife. Tiny knife killed the Jedi.
Started your episode this way.
Also, since we're in the whole the Bacta phase of this era in force healing, Bacta
blue
tank
water that heals people.
Which, by the way, has been around since the Old Republic, so I don't think that's a really new thing. But she took a small blade about an inch or two into the chest.
She's fine.
Dies, but in what was it? Ahsoka, that one girl took a full lightsaber right through the spine, but she was fine.
Do we know that she's dead? Like,
I don't know.
She's gonna come back.
True.
I don't know.
She has to.
I like people are going like, this is the most groundbreaking death in all of Star Wars. I'm just like, not really.
It's the stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of a pointless thing at this point.
Oh,
it's
man.
the most like facepalm death I've ever seen in Star Wars.
Yeah.
You lost to a ninja-like lady. You're a Jedi
who isn't even that good at ninjing. She's like, hit me with your best shot.
She just talked trash, and then you fell for putting your weapon away. She's like, oh, you can't beat the boss without help.
This has to be a comedy. This is like a assassin spoof comedy or something, because she's got to be the worst assassin we have ever seen. You guys want to go to episode 2?
Let's go to the next one because I need a refresher on the second one because I zoned out on the second one.
So the second one's called Revenge/Justice. So even I'm going to have trouble with this. Michael, you just watched it.
I just watched
how
it.
It starts.
The second one starts. It starts with her going after
May,
Sleepy
right?
Man, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's talking. Okay, so she's talking to the guy from The Good Place, which I really like that actor. So I was very happy. He's the guy with the poison. Very, very pleasant man. I was very happy to see him in this.
Side note: this guy is a delight.
He is a delight. So yeah,
wait,
I was excited.
Who did he play in The Good Place?
He was the goofy friend that the guy that just want to have fun. He's like I forget how he died, but he just wanted to be like popular and like a YouTuber or something like that. What was his name?
I think. Was he the guy from Florida?
He became the monk. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or he pretended to be the monk because he was in the wrong place.
Yeah, no, I do love him in The Good Place.
I love him. I love that actor.
Dude, I'm not a monk. Sorry, we're getting off to a better
because he like has a he took a vow.
Welcome to the good
vow of silence.
So, a Good Place review.
Oh, that show is so good.
I'm sorry. That's a way better show. Go watch that show.
It's a great
that show's
show.
great.
Great show.
All right, so May is there, and she's gonna take out Master Torben, her second on the list.
Man.
And he's been in a forced meditation for what? How long has it been?
10 years?
10 years, I think it is. So he's just floating. I mean, that is a pretty cool concept of floating Jedi. Just got a force bubble around him, protecting him. She can't get through it. She's a bad assassin. She's kicking the force, and
I like later she says, "Oh, I tried everything. There's no getting through there."
Yeah, she's like, she didn't dig under him.
Then what happens? Did they go to the Squid Game?
Yeah, so then those boys. Geez, I literally just watched this. I was also meal prepping, so there's that too.
I was looking at this screen and I zoned out. I'm not even joking. I remember her getting the poison and sneaking into the monastery, the Jedi monastery. That's a terrible looking monastery, by the way.
I know.
Yeah, so they talked to the one head Jedi lady, and she's like, "Hey, there's been more stuff. It's not actually her because there was an attempt on this. Someone saw her there going after Torbjorn or whatever that his name is." And then
Torbjorn.
So they're like, "Go there and take that chick, take her sister with you because she's innocent now." But then for some reason, Miles Morales, bimbo Jedi, is like, "No, she can't have a weapon, but why is she bad?" And then
should be walking on the ship just without handcuffs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then they try and like for 5 seconds try and switch her back to being under suspicion again. But then he's like, "I followed her. She's okay now." You're like, "Okay." I was like,
no.
Why do this then? Why do this? What was the point?
That was so dumb. She walked away for like 5 seconds. She did it. It was her.
So they get to the planet, right? And they're investigating, and they meet the guy that kind of runs it, and Torben's there. And he's like, "Let me give you the tour of the facility." Before this, May had like gone and talked to the apothecary guy, and he tells her, I don't remember what he says, but he's got some poison for her.
Yeah, that's where we kind of get the idea of that she's supposed to kill a Jedi without using weapons or anything or something like that. And he's like, "You did it wrong the first time." And she's like, "Well, don't tell him I'm gonna do it wrong this time too. I need poison. Come on."
Give him some poison.
This guy doesn't have a weakness. Everyone has a weakness, and gives her some juice. Here you go. He makes some Mountain Dew and a vial, and he's like, "That will kill him."
It looks like Baja Blast almost.
That looks like standard Mountain Dew because it's green.
Yeah, it's green.
Was it green?
Yeah, it was like a light, like a highlight.
Let's start this again, guys.
I don't remember what's going on, but for somehow May returns to Torben.
It's Star Wars,
like,
Joseph.
She's like, "I got this." She puts it on the ground, and she's like, "You're feeling guilty because you got the white guilt bad. So why don't you just kill yourself?" And he's like, "Yes, I've been waiting for this." And he drinks it.
I meditated for 20 years. I have not gotten over this.
So bored.
So stupid Jedi death number 2. Because, man, remember in the prequels when in Revenge of the Sith when you're kind of like, wow, that's kind of lame deaths for a bunch of Jedis. But we didn't know that lamer deaths were coming. And so this guy, I'm pretty sure he broke a lot of Jedi codes by drinking this poison, but he did it, and now he's dead. So they all run in. Somehow she had beat him in there. Somehow the other Osha beats them all in there, even though they were all going that way.
She went around.
Somehow they were, I don't know what the heck they were doing.
They were catching up with the other Jedi. They were having a little talk. They were just slowly jaunting there.
And that one Jedi needs to go on a diet. Holy crap. Like, good Lord.
I guess he was like, "Hey, you want to see my lightsaber collection or something? They're pretty cool." So Osha goes in there and she touches the guy. She touches all the evidence and she touches the poison with her hand, just rubs her hands all over it. And they walk in and they're like, "Oh, you killed him." And she was like, "No, it wasn't me." It's not what
Even
it
though I'm
looks like.
doing everything right now to convince you that I did do this.
And then Bimbo Jedi goes in and is like, I saw the whole thing. It wasn't her.
Even though he didn't see the whole thing because he came around the corner because he hadn't
Yeah.
caught up yet.
He was like behind
he's
them.
peeking. He's
Oh man, this show. So they're like, okay, what are we gonna do? So they're like, I know, we'll go to the apothecary. The big Jedi, the poor guy that has no training or something. He didn't keep up with his Jedi training. He's like, hey, there's a new guy in town. He's an apothecary. Go look for him. So they go and they interrogate him. And he's like, hey, man, I just work for her or something. I just, give her orders.
There is a little humor in this because he's like, who is he? And he's like, I just told you who I was.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's like,
that's
no,
right.
you fooled. I'm talking about the guy you mentioned.
So they're like, here's the deal. Instead of arresting this man, we will let him just do his job. And then we'll watch.
We'll
and
let you off
she'll
with a
come-
warning, is what he says. And I'm like,
Yeah. Well, you're not cops, you're Jedis. So they're like, we'll stake out the place, and when she comes back, we'll jump her. So she does come back, and what happens? They chase her, I guess.
well, Broski fights her for a bit.
Yeah, the Squid Game guy fights her, and he's like overmatched.
Yeah, he's kicking
Oh.
the movie.
Yeah, she's kicked.
They have her surrounded, and she's thinking, how do I get out of this? She's like, oh, I'll make a dust storm. They can't sense presence or like any kind of life form, so
Yes, they
I can just slip out.
Why would they be able to do that, Jerry?
He is a Jedi master. He can blow the smoke away.
I know, I'm like, you just like, and you're fine. Like, nice try. But no, she got
Oh
away.
man! And
Wait.
they brought the sister. So remember, they brought the sister, so maybe she could talk some sense into her. But they
Shot
don't
at her.
bring her out. She's like,
No, she's got to have faith in soul. He's going
Yeah.
to talk to her first.
she's out hanging out in left field or something. So she does the smoke thing. She's running away. She's in a car and she's about to leave, but then the girl has a gun because they gave her the suspect a gun because that's
It's a weird
pretty
gun, too.
smart.
Like a ratchet and clank
Yeah.
gun.
So, sorry, back to the smoke screen. Not only do they have two Jedi who can sense force sensitive people, there's a helicopter up there with sensors. So you have science and magic.
Turn on the thermals.
But that dust, man, that's blocking everything.
It's good dust.
And then
Okay.
when Osha catches up to May, she just goes like, boop, and then just completely misses.
I think she was
That was on
Missing
purpose.
on purpose.
I know, but I was just like, why even shoot at that point if you're just gonna just miss? Like,
She's doing the whole Point Break thing. She's like,
I'm
"Ah."
so upset.
So May escapes, and we get a little preview for the next episode. I'm guessing where we're in a jungle, right?
Oh God.
In a Wookiee. Well, two guys are like gonna rob a house, and then the Wookiee comes and says, "Get off my property!" And then they run away, and he roars, and that's the end of the
The
episode.
ugliest Wookiee I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, because what's her face? May went back to Good Place guy, and she was like, "Yo, we got out of here." He's like, "Hey, I know where your Wookiee boy is. Let's go to that planet."
I know you're a Wookiee boy.
I know we're a Wookiee boy.
So she's after 4 Jedi, and
So we've
she's
already
already killed 2.
3.
Yeah.
Well, technically we've seen all of them because he's the last one.
Yeah, Squid Boy.
Yeah.
So yeah. How long is this series? Like 6 episodes or something like that?
I think 8.
Do you guys want to guess how dumbly the Wookiee will die? Is she gonna poison some meat that he eats, or
Well, she can't use a weapon, so she's gonna have to like.
She's gonna shave
Put
him
him
and he's
off.
gonna freeze to death.
burn the forest?
Mm-hmm. She'll burn the whole forest down. He'll probably just kill himself off like the other 2.
She'll enlist more of those redneck guys to hunt that Wookiee like
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
There you go.
Okay. So that's
All right.
2
So-
episodes, right?
2 down,
That's the
Thomas.
2.
Ready for the rest?
I hear they get even worse. I hear these are
Oh,
the
no.
best episodes.
But these are the
Oh,
best.
no.
This is the best action since the prequels, though, according to some online reviewer.
I thought the fight
2
with
weeks
him
in
and her
advance.
wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty good.
No, the fights are fine. It's just she looks totally outclassed by these 2
Yeah.
Jedis. And she should not have won these
She looked
fights.
outclassed by the first Jedi.
Yeah. Both of these Jedi Masters should have took her out pretty easily.
Yeah, the first one was bad.
I know if they were Jedi Knights, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
but they're like masters. They're like, I don't know. I love seeing how weak Jedi are getting. Like, it started with the Clone Wars show, and they've just been getting weaker and weaker.
It's sad. This show is supposed to be a mystery, but we already know who the assassin is, kind of. I guess the mystery is who her master is, I guess. And a lot of people are guessing.
Count Dooku.
They're guessing, well, spoilers, if anyone doesn't want to hear what people are guessing. But people are guessing it's the apothecary guy.
I can see that.
Which one?
Which makes sense.
Good place guy.
Good place guy. That's why she's kind of like
The
helping.
guy that gave her the poison, because then that'd be a funny little twist of,
But
I was the
who
one that
is
did
he?
it.
He's the bad guy.
that guy.
Darth Maul with his makeup off.
There's also a theory that Osha's actually doing it, but she's got kind of a split personality.
Oh,
Just kind of imagining that she has a
but we
twin.
saw them together already, so.
But Squid Guy says she had it. Unless she really did and she really died, so she kind of just made up this, like resurrected her in her head, maybe.
Osha is the master and the sister is the apprentice, like the acolyte, and then really they're all evil.
This just makes Jedis look crazy.
It does,
I
unfortunately.
mean, remember how Ahsoka makes the New Republic look terrible? And
They flipped it this time.
yeah. It's like, ugh.
Okay, who else hated the Jedi robes, by the way?
They look like it looked like One Punch Man.
It looked like
his costume.
Cosplaying, like that quality.
It
looked okay.
quality.
This is the same thing that I've always had trouble with Disney's Star Wars. I mean, I have a lot of problems with it, but this one thing particularly always kind of like grates at me. Everything looks way too like pretty.
Brand new.
Clean.
Yeah. Like
pulled out of the sleeve of plastic.
Supposed to look-
even the Republic, though, like these guys are supposed to be out on the frontier of, they even say like this is the furthest that you've been out, like that you can go out. In
the worst was with the Mandalorians because they're like battle-born people, but they're like armor's like shiny.
They're very particular about their armor.
Yeah, but even like the Jedi robes, they look like they're made of plastic almost. Is how stiff they look. I'm like, oh, geez, okay.
Yeah,
but
definitely looks store bought.
Any good stuff you guys want to say about this?
I actually didn't. So I will say I did. Like I said, I watched this while meal prepping, so I didn't. Like in my head, I'm thinking this is better than Obi-Wan, and so I'm like, this isn't that bad.
That's not hard.
That's not hard to. I am interested in the main. I'm interested in the. Oh, good lord. I haven't seen Squid Game, so I don't know what to call him. The Squid Game guy, he seems interesting. And the main chick, not the villainous twin, but the main one. I like her.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of anything else. Like I said, the fight scene between him and her, I thought was good and interesting.
I even like the fight scene with Carrie-Anne Moss and her. I didn't like that it was a ninja versus a Jedi, but I did like the fight.
Oh, in the cantina?
Yeah.
They're jumping. Yeah, you haven't seen Jedis jump too much recently. And then visually, I mean, I think it looks good visually. Like the starship crashing into the snow planet looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't hate this show. It is goofy and not well thought out, but I'm just kind of accepting that for a Disney show now because it's just like
that's been a lot of the reviews. It's like, well, it's not that.
It's just like but it's the silly things of like just think of a little more effort. Make the Jedi at the beginning have to make more effort so she actually gets stabbed with reason rather than just just think it through for 5 seconds. I don't know.
Yeah, the things I liked like the Masters, Carrie-Anne Moss and Soul. They're cool. I like their characters, but she's already dead, and he, for some reason, keeps letting this girl go and is very wishy-washy about everything. I don't like Bimbo Jedi. He's just kind of like dumb.
I will say
I like that actor, but I don't like him.
The guy that played Squid Game Jedi. I'm sorry. I know he has a name. Soul. The fact that he didn't speak English 4 months prior to this, that's pretty impressive. I will give him that. I think everybody kind of showed up for him, but he doesn't really bring, like, the character doesn't bring a lot to the table right now. So I don't, it's impressive that he got like this much of a performance, but there's just nothing for him to do right now. So
It's a weird mixture for me. I like Soul and I like OSHA, but I can't stand that Padawan.
Oh yeah, she's pretty
girl
annoying too.
Padawan. She's terrible. And then I like some of the alien designs, like that one I mentioned. That's about it.
The thing that bothers me for Disney Star Wars is they always like make new aliens. They don't use established aliens. That's kind of annoying. It's just
go ahead.
This is just like bad writing. It's just not good.
It's just lazy writing is what it is.
Have we talked about the Green Jedi?
No, so
No.
Okay, when they say like, oh, I'm impressed with this guy's acting because apparently he didn't know English for 4 months prior to this. So what's her excuse for having the wooden lines of like someone who doesn't speak English? Because good Lord.
I remember
this is nepotism because this is the director's wife.
Oh, is it?
Well, yeah.
I was gonna say I was stirring my chicken and rice, and I remember because I was just listening at that point. And I was like, oh, that was Disney acting, whatever. I just kept stirring my chicken and rice. I didn't realize who it was.
The part where I kind of just like I literally cut my eyes kind of glazed over is where she goes like, Master Soul, but if we don't let this or if we let this happen, our political enemies will make sure to use this against us. I'm just like, is that how we talk in the Jedi Order? Apparently, is just to give everything away and just completely to say everything out loud like that in front of all the younglings, by the way. So hi, younglings.
Yeah,
So,
they don't act like Jedis at all because like there's that part where they're like, he's like, okay, we know where she is, we got to go after her. But then the green lady's like, no, come back. We got to have like a council or something meeting. That's not how Jedi work. Jedi masters pretty much have their own like jurisdiction. They just go out and they investigate.
They have to have deep, meaningful conversation first, Joseph.
That's not what they do. No, they go out and they do their job. They only like report back to the council when there's like galaxy-wide like enemies going on. Even then, they barely talk to each other. But
I just really hate this whole new era of like making Jedi look bad and like weak. I'm like, stupid. It's dumb.
Yeah, it's just I think they're doing it on purpose because they want us to kind of like or to be sympathetic to the villain, but she's just so dumb.
Yeah, the villains are not good so far. They're really bad.
They're so dumb.
Really, really bad.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of reviews saying like, well, it's not as bad. Like you said, it's not as bad as Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was terrible, but I mean, we shouldn't have to settle for not as bad for Disney Star Wars.
Just let the Ashoka guy do it. Just give it to him for now. He's done the best.
I'm sorry. Give it to Filoni and Favreau. I know that their track record right now is kind of iffy because of Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
But I feel like they had like the least amount of like involvement with that one.
Or the Andor guy.
Oh my God. Give everything to him. Give everything to him. And then he needs to partner with Sam Witwer. And just.
How about save?
Just give it to Sam Witwer.
How about save $100 million and hire some good writers or enough writers to make it good?
Yeah, get some competent people.
Yeah,
this feels like it was written by AI. I'm sorry.
It's just like first draft writing is what it is.
Yeah, it's amateurish.
It's like just like if you read through that after you write it, you'll realize, oh, that's an easy thing I could fix. Like there's so many, like the stupid thing of her being under suspicion again. There's no point to that. That is something you cut out of a second draft.
There is some embarrassing stuff.
That's bad.
Is this like a team of writers or?
It's got to. I mean, everything today is a team of writers. But the first one, the credit goes to the director. So she's done. The only thing I know she's done is a play. She wrote a play. That's like about it. And then,
she also did the showrunner. Sorry. She was also, someone's assistant for years.
Oh yeah. Harvey Weinstein. So, and then The rest are all looks like it's written by two people, so a team of two writers. So, I mean, this is just Hollywood today. The writing is so bad lately. It's just because they don't want to hire good writers; they just want to hire a variety of writers. But yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll see some more. I hear it just goes downhill from here, so we'll have to see. It might be worth just seeing how bad it gets.
Maybe that last episode will be like, we'll clap our hands and be like, wow, we were foolish.
You pulled it all together.
I knew this was not going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be good. I knew it was going to be good. But I had a bit of hope because I really enjoyed Ahsoka. Like I really enjoyed it. And that kind of got my faith back into having some Star Wars and, some competent writing. Even though it wasn't the best, it was still all right, which is sad.
Entertaining show.
Kind of clunky,
it was very entertaining. I didn't find it boring at all. And this, like, I literally just stared at the screen and did not absorb any information whatsoever. I was just like,
and they've already done kind of a story like this. The Old Republic comics is basically kind of a story. It's basically a bunch of Padawan get killed by Jedi masters, and then he has to figure out what happened.
It's during the Mandalorian War. So funny about that, I'm packing up right now, and I have the original run of that comic in my boxes right now because I bought it at Hastings every week for about 6 months. So
they could have just they could have just adapted that, man. You have scripts, just adapt. Well, it's like Marvel, just adapt the comics. You got stuff, you got material. I'm gonna have an aneurysm if we keep talking about this, so we gotta go. Well, you guys got any last words for that?
I do have one more thing, because whenever, probably 10 minutes ago, when Thomas was talking about the green lady, and she goes, and she's like, he said that they had a conference and there was all the younglings, and then he was like, and the younglings are here. Hi, younglings. All in my head I kept thinking was that little girl sitting in the corner going, fire.
I see fire.
That's all she's doing in the corner. So that's been going through my head for the past 10 minutes.
She's like, pain is the only thing that exists.
I see pestilence.
Well, when the Grandmaster walks, he's like, I have to talk to you about one of these kids here. So,
Master Yoda, can you come down to the Padawan way?
Okay, apparently the green lady is the Grand Master right now.
Yeah, she's from the books.
Yeah, but those books are terrible from what I've heard.
Yeah, they're as bad as writing as the show. So, Star Wars, man. Hopefully, I mean, we're supposed to get Andor season 2 eventually, right?
True.
Well, that should be good, but. I would just like just a normal show with a normal Jedi guy doing normal Jedi things.
Let a Jedi.
We need a new hope.
We do. We need a new hope. All right. So that's going to do it for this episode. Please subscribe to the podcast, throw us some likes, and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. And we will see you next time. Bye.